Virgo, there is an intuitive message for you that came through very clearly. You are waiting for something, a response, a result, some news, or the right moment. Some natives are waiting for the result of a test, an exam, a process, or a decision that doesn't depend solely on them. For others, it might be personal news or the confirmation of an intuition. Some Virgos are wondering if it might just be an illusion, which is why they wait, analyze, and weigh things carefully before making any move. The cards show exactly this moment of waiting, and they also reveal what happens when the missing information finally comes to light. Stay with me because what comes next cannot be ignored. Welcome to the reading for Virgo Sun or Rising. While shuffling, the energy came with a sense of careful pause, not stagnation, but a conscious waiting, like someone standing by the window, watching for a sign, some news, or a confirmation. For some Virgos, there is a longing for someone or something. You are balanced and wise. You analyze the situation in depth before taking action, and during this period I sense that reason prevails over feelings, and fairness takes precedence over your own needs or desires. And the cards, all of them without exception, confirm exactly that. Before detailing the 6 main positions, I want to mention that quite a few additional cards have come up. The first card that came up is the High Priestess, a woman seated between 2 pillars, with a scroll hidden in her lap, the moon at her feet, and a veil adorned with pomegranates behind her. It is the card of intuition, of knowledge that has not yet fully revealed itself. It confirms exactly what I felt while shuffling. You are missing some information and part of the truth is still hidden beneath the surface. But the High Priestess also has another very important layer for you right now. It signals an increased attraction to spirituality, to the esoteric, to inner knowledge. And the pomegranates on the veil symbolize the fruit, the result of your work, which can be material but also intellectual or the product of your own abilities. So it speaks about evolution, development, personal elevation. The next card, the King of Cups. A man on a throne surrounded by a rather turbulent sea, yet he remains calm. It is the mastery of emotions, maturity, the balance between heart and mind. It can represent a person in your life or an energy you are called to embody, to master your emotional waves without repressing them. Next, the King of Swords, also a man on a throne, holding an upright sword, looking determined. He represents the authority of the mind, clear thinking, truth spoken without beating around the bush. He goes hand in hand with the King of Cups. Together they ask you for a balance between reason and emotion, exactly the theme I sensed during the shuffling. We also have the Ace of Wands, a hand emerging from a cloud, holding a budding staff. It is the spark of a new beginning, an opportunity, an initiative just waiting to be started. The energy that says, when the moment comes, act. The 8 of Pentacles card also appeared. A craftsman patiently working on his coins one by one. It is the card of dedicated work of perfecting through repetition, very specific to you, Virgo. It confirms that careful and consistent effort pays off. Next comes the 9 of Wands. A weary person but still standing, holding on to and leaning on a staff with 8 staffs behind them. It is perseverance near the end. You have carried a lot, you are almost there, but don't rush in the final stretch, especially now. For others, the message is different. If you have gone through an unpleasant experience, it is natural and healthy to be cautious. But be careful not to fall into the opposite extreme. The caution that protects you should not become a wall that isolates you. Defending yourself is wise. However, if you choose to build walls around your heart out of fear of being hurt again, you risk blocking out the beautiful experiences that are trying to reach you. The 8 wands behind you are not enemies, but rather represent the experience you have gathered over time. Let them make you wiser, not lonelier. The Knight of Swords also makes an appearance, a knight galloping at great speed. He holds his sword raised and the wind flutters his garments. This is fast, mental energy, the determination that cuts through any hesitation. After all the waiting and analysis, he brings the moment of swift action, the instant when, once you have clarity, you act without hesitation. But the Knight of Swords also has a side that you, Virgo, need to be aware of. He can also warn against excessive haste, against acting on impulse without weighing all the consequences. For you, who carefully analyze everything, the message is double-edged. On one hand, it encourages you not to postpone things indefinitely anymore. On the other hand, it reminds you that speed should not replace discernment. The right balance is to act promptly once you have understood the situation. Not sooner, but also not too late. At the same time, we also have the High Priest or Hierophant, a wise figure standing between 2 pillars, holding the keys of knowledge. He represents tradition, teaching, and wisdom. But here, for you, the High Priest can actually be a mirror of yourself, Virgo, because you are often the just, balanced, trustworthy, and wise person whom people admire and turn to for advice. You are the one who weighs things fairly and offers guidance to others. And if you don't see yourself reflected in this card, then it may signal valuable advice coming your way from an experienced person or in an official, trustworthy setting. And there's another layer here that I don't want to overlook. Because if you remember, the first card that fell was the High Priestess, and now among the cards, her natural counterpart, the Hierophant, also appears. When these 2 energies appear together in the same spread, they can also speak about a couple, about a union, 2 complementary halves coming together. Intuition and structure, mystery and tradition, heart and mind. For some of you, this may be confirmation of a balanced relationship or one that is approaching. A connection in which the 2 complement each other, not compete with each other. The next card, 5 of Swords. A figure gathering swords with 2 other people in the background walking away. It is the card of conflict and struggle, of a victory that leaves a bitter aftertaste, or of choosing the battles that are truly worth fighting. Sometimes it reminds us that not every conflict must be won at any cost, that in certain situations, giving up a pointless fight is actually the true victory. Next, we have the Lovers. 2 people beneath an angel. A choice of the heart speaks about an important decision, about a relationship, or a choice between 2 paths. It confirms the theme of the choice you are weighing. It also means reciprocity, shared feelings or interests that can form either a couple or a partnership in which the 2 complement each other. It can also be interpreted as the revelation of a fundamental truth or the profound act of revealing reality exactly as it truly is, completely free from any unnecessary detours, without any masks, and without those superficial decorative elements that are specifically meant to artificially embellish that particular situation or person. But the card also has another message that is very fitting for you. The right choice is the one made in accordance with your deepest values, not just with a fleeting desire, and it also speaks about the harmony between reason and emotion, exactly as I mentioned earlier about their coming together, not about choosing one at the expense of the other. You, who now feel that your mind dominates your heart, are being invited to bring them back together at the same table. Next, we have the 6 of Wands card. A rider with a laurel crown welcomed as a victor. It is the card of recognition, of success, of good news that comes after effort. This is one of the most encouraging cards for your theme of waiting. It suggests that the news you are waiting for may be good. We also have the Chariot, a leader in a carriage pulled by two opposing forces, moving forward through willpower. It represents victory through determination, control over direction, moving forward after you have aligned your inner forces. Here we have black and white, yin and yang. So again, this card somehow speaks to us about balance. The 12 cards together tell a clear story. You're waiting for news or confirmation, balancing reason with emotion. Ready for an opportunity that you have built through patient work. When the time comes, you will act quickly. Make a choice from the heart, perhaps guided by wise advice. You will choose which battles are worth fighting, and at the end, recognition awaits you and, of course, victory through willpower. This is not a coincidence, it is the precise art of what you are living right now. Now let's look at the overall energy. In the past, we have the Emperor, a figure of authority seated on a throne adorned with sculpted rams. We see here that he is holding the scepter in his hand. This is the card of structure, order, control, and a solid foundation built with discipline. For you, Virgo, this means that your past has been about building a stable structure. You set rules, created order, and were the one others could rely on. Maybe you had to be strong, organized, and responsible even when you wished you could rely on someone else yourself. At present, we have the Page of Swords, a young man standing on a hill with a sword raised. The wind blows around him and he gazes intently into the distance. It's about vigilance, mental curiosity, the alertness of someone who is on the lookout for information. This card perfectly describes your current moment. You are on guard. You are attentive. You are waiting for news. You are gathering information before taking action. The Page of Swords is the messenger. It often announces that news is on the way, but it also has a shadow side. Sometimes a mind that is too watchful starts to imagine scenarios, to anticipate problems that don't yet exist. Vigilance is useful, excessive suspicion is less so. For the future, we have the 10 of Pentacles, or coins. A family in front of a house with an old man. Here we see prosperity, dogs, children. Yes, the happy family. It is the card of material and family fulfillment, of lasting stability, of inheritance, of long-term security. A family in front of a prosperous house with an old man, children and dogs under solid arches. It is the card of material and family fulfillment, of lasting stability, of inheritance, and of long-term security. This is the likely direction. After a period of waiting and uncertainty, the energy moves toward concrete stability, toward security, toward a form of fulfillment that endures. What you are waiting for now can lead to a solid foundation. Not just a momentary gain, but something you can build on for the long term. For health, we have the Knight of Pentacles, a knight on a black calm horse, holding a coin and looking ahead with patience. It is the most stable and consistent of the knight cards. It shows a slow, methodical, and reliable pace. For health, the message is reassuring. Stability, a healthy routine, slow but steady progress. There are no dramatic changes here. The Knight of Pentacles encourages you to maintain your good habits, balanced pace, and constant care for your body. It is patience, which in the area of health is exactly what you need. For career, the Ace of Swords, a hand emerging from a cloud, holding a crowned sword. It is the strongest energy of mental clarity in the entire tarot. It speaks of truth, decision, a breakthrough, a moment of clear understanding for you in the professional area. The Ace of Swords signals a moment of clarity, a decision that must be made with a clear mind, a truth that comes to the surface, a new idea that cuts through confusion. It is exactly the information you are waiting for, the sword that cuts the knot. When clarity comes, you will know exactly what you have to do. This card also speaks of triumph, success in love. And here, the section becomes about love or relationships, because the energy can also affect family dynamics or collaboration, not just couples. Justice appears, a figure on a throne holding a raised sword in one hand and a scale in the other. It is the card of balance, truth, cause, and effect, of making the right decisions with objectivity for yourself. Virgo, in love or relationships. Justice speaks of balance and fairness. It confirms exactly what I felt earlier, that for you, fairness comes before even your own desires. Justice tells you that the truth will come to light, that what is right will find its place. But it also reminds you of something important. The scales must weigh your needs too, not just those of others. Being fair to yourself is also part of justice. Justice can also signify an official decision, a contract, a legal clarification, or a situation where truth and fairness play a central role. At the base of the deck, the energy that supports this entire reading, we have Strength and the Empress. Strength shows a woman gently closing the mouth of a lion, not through force, but through calm and tenderness. And we also have the infinity symbol above her head. It is inner strength, quiet courage, self-mastery through gentleness, not aggression. Then the Empress depicts a feminine figure in an abundant field, surrounded by fruitful nature. It speaks of fertility, abundance, maternal care, the creativity that gives birth to things. The foundation of this reading is as follows. Beneath all your waiting and careful analysis lies a gentle but real inner strength and a capacity to create abundance and nurture what matters. You have the inner resources, calm and creativity to turn waiting into creation, not into restlessness. This is the message. Now let's see what the other decks confirm. The moon phase cards tell you that some adjustments are needed, a sign that you still need a few tweaks before the end. Then take control and make the first move. An encouragement not to wait endlessly anymore. The outcome is very close. It is a confirmation that the end of waiting is near, and trust that what seems impossible is actually possible. It delivers a rare and powerful message. Don't let the fear of illusion block your hope. At the base of this deck, we have the sign of Leo, which coincides with strength. I am conveying these messages to you. Don't let pride become an obstacle in your path, and the key to success is confidence. Both remind you that beyond analysis, you need to have confidence in yourself, but also in the process. The time cards show Capricorn with the number 10, and the message perceives success. In numerology, the number 10 marks the completion of a full cycle and the beginning of another. Then comes the number 5. You decide for yourself. The vibration of 5 means change, freedom, the courage to choose on your own. This is a direct message for you, who sometimes put doing right by others before your own choices. Then we have the Friday card, which tells you to finish something and has the number 6. The number 6 means harmony, but also responsibility. Sometimes balance requires you to finish, not to wait. And Scorpio with the number 8 and the message heal your wounds. The number 8 represents power, material and spiritual balance and karma. The message is that healing doesn't happen on its own, it is actively built. At the base of this deck, we have Gemini with the number 3 and the message Seek, Exchange, Dialogue. The number 3 is the number of communication and expression. The news you are waiting for may come through a conversation. The last card, Sunday with the number 1, tells you, go inward, develop a vision. The number 1 represents a new inner beginning. Before any external action, clarity comes from within. In fact, this one that I noticed also coincides with the Chariot, which speaks to us about the journey. It could be something new or a change, but something is moving. Messages from the cards, stones, and plants. We have yellow quartz and chamomile. It speaks about mental clarity and calming restless thoughts. Aventurine with horsetail conveys balance, luck, and strengthening of willpower. Then sapphire with pansies, wisdom, clarity, and deep thinking. Alexandrite with verbena symbolizes transformation and calming of the nervous system. Turquoise with frankincense, protection and honest communication. And red jasper with currant speaks of strength, stability, and courage. The other card, celestite with hydrangea, speaks of inner peace, spiritual clarity, and mental calm. It connects very well with the high priestess, because this card also speaks about a strong attraction to the spiritual, the mystical, and the unseen realms. It is said to be the stone that helps us communicate more easily with angels, with the celestial realm. At its core, dandelion howlite helps calm an overanalyzing mind, establishing peace and patience. And citrine with orange peel speaks of optimism, solar energy, and confidence for a new cycle. Two stones that directly convey mental calm and trust. The cards of the seasons brought 4 figures. The Guardian, a woman in dark green with a pine cone and an owl in this winter landscape. The owl symbolizes the wisdom that watches over, while the pine cone represents patience and the seed that waits for the right moment, the opportune time. Then Brumara, a figure in blue with a fox in a misty forest. The fox represents intuition, intelligence, and the ability to see beyond the fog. It is also a very good strategist. February, a figure in blue silver with a warm shawl and an ivy leaf in a winter landscape. Patience and protection during the cold periods. The promise that spring is coming. This is the message conveyed by the February card. Next, we have Brisa, a woman in warm yellow with an oleander branch and wolves around her in a bright field. She speaks of instinct, loyalty, and the golden light is the hope that rises and triumphs. At the base, we have October, a figure with chrysanthemums in an autumn forest. The chrysanthemum symbolizes wisdom gained through experience and, at the same time, discreet courage. The last card, Viforitza, depicts a woman holding a green branch in her hand and wearing a crown on her head that represents triumph. In the background, a white polar bear can be seen. It speaks of the quiet strength that endures even through the harshest times. Basically, your seasons together tell a story of wisdom, patience, something that ripens in silence like a seed beneath the snow and will bear fruit at the right moment. Let's also look at the messages from the angels. The first message, self-care. A gentle reminder to take care of yourself too, not just to be fair to others. The next message, you are understood, so you are not alone in what you feel. Make a wish. Dare to want, even if you're afraid it might be an illusion. Patience is your natural confirmed quality. And Archangel Michael, the angel of protection and truth, who cuts through any confusion and fear with his sword. He is very closely connected to the Ace of Swords and the King of Swords. At the bottom of this deck, you are not alone, and pray. Together, they say that throughout all this waiting, you are supported, even if you don't see the support yet. And finally, the positive message is like a chorus confirming everything we've discussed earlier. I let go of all expectations. I am completely adequate for all situations. The past is gone. I trust the process of life. As I say yes to life, life says yes to me. I love life. I accept my uniqueness. I trust my inner wisdom. I deserve to be loved. I am deeply fulfilled by everything I do, and my income is constantly increasing. Virgo, if I were to sum up everything these cards have said into a single thread, the conclusion would be that you are waiting for news, an answer, a confirmation. Your careful analysis, your wisdom, your patience are real gifts. The High Priestess, the Page of Swords, the phases of the moon, all confirm that something is brewing, that the information you are missing is on its way. But the cards also send you a more delicate message. At some point, waiting must turn into action. The Ace of Swords brings clarity. Justice brings balance, and you decide for yourself and bring something to completion. They simply remind you that you can't wait forever for perfect certainty and everything that underpins it. Strength, the Empress. The key to success is confidence. Archangel Michael is telling you that you already have everything inside you. The gentle strength, the creativity, and especially the confidence you need to take the step when the time comes. The good news is that the Six of Wands and the Chariot suggest that beyond this waiting, recognition and victory await you, and the Ten of Pentacles shows that it could be a lasting one. The only remaining question is whether you will trust yourself enough to act when the truth finally comes to light. Your wisdom does not lie in waiting endlessly for perfect certainty, but in knowing when the analysis is over and it's time to trust. The information will come, clarity will come, and when it does, remember this: you deserve to be the top priority on your own scale. I remind you that this reading is a general one, reflecting the collective energy of the Virgo sign or ascendant and not a personalized one. So only take what you feel resonates with you and leave the rest. If you found this useful, I encourage you to press like and share it further because the message might reach someone who needs to hear it. Also, I suggest you subscribe to the channel and hit the bell to stay updated with new videos for your zodiac sign, as well as the upcoming specific messages. If you felt that you resonated, I'm looking forward to your thoughts in the comments. What is the news or answer you are waiting for right now? That's all I had for you. May it be useful to you. Kisses to you all. Until next time.